Alright everybody, welcome back. We are working on reading and writing to and from configs. I'm not going to go into how to make a config file. I will include the one I have here, the one I use, because I don't remember how to make it. I mean, if I went through and looked at it, I could remember, but I don't want to. Like, I actively do not want to. It's just not fun. Anyway, I just recommend using one that's already made or something if you can, because it's just so much easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on getting your configs set up, written, and whatnot, and all that jazz. So first thing you want to do is after you make your config file, or your config handler, in this case I called mine config make, what you need to do is you go public static name of your config handler and then a variable for it. This will be a separate config, as you can see here. We go down here into your onEnable class. You go tuts, or whatever the name of your variable is, equals new config handler name. This being the plugin, tuts.yaml, or the file name .yaml. It can be .dat. It could be no file extension. It could be .text if you want it. It could be whatever you want as long as you can read it. The null is for something else that's not needed. You don't need to worry about that. Just keep it as null. It was for something I was studying or experimenting with, but it didn't work. And I haven't gotten rid of it because I'm lazy. So now, after you make that, you've declared this as a new config with this. That is what this config is now, tuts.yaml. So you want to save that. Go ahead and save it, tuts.yaml.null, of course, because I messed up on my config handler. You can go ahead and change that if you like by just editing the code here, which I will provide. So after you do that, reload the config. Always reload it because that refreshes the server's memory of what is in that data, or it refreshes the data for that file. And then we go down here on our command, and we're also going to talk about permissions and whatnot, but I'll do that after I get the commands. So here what I did is I set up a check. It checks the config file here for a value. So if tutsconfig.getConfig.getString, so I'm getting a string from the file with this address, command.enabled, and it's in YAML, so it would be cmd and then enabled under that with a colon. Both have colons, and then in front of that would be the value that I'm searching for. So here, cmd, two spaces, or two spaces, all lowercase. It doesn't matter if they're lowercase as long as they match this, and vice versa. Colon space, the value. In this case, we want true. So if it does that, go ahead and this is just debug code. Well, kind of. It's more I was having fun at midnight. Sender.send message. This is the sender. The player that sends the message, it gets the name and then sends the message. So we do that, or it gets the player and sends a message to him. And in this case, it's chat color purple. This thing's enabled hot stuff. Yeah. Oh wait, let's make that something better. Hot pocket. There we go. Now here's our commands, more commands, and then if the what's it called? Config. If the config does not read true, if it reads anything else, it could be like applesauce or spaghetti or something. If it's not true, it's going to come down here and be like, dude, this is wrong, it's not true, and then it tells you here. In this case, I put a system.out print. You don't need to do that. It's just mainly like a to see if it works thing. Usually you don't want to have that kind of stuff just sitting in your plugin, or else it's going to spam stuff like this. Like that would be considered annoying. That's in-game though, so it's fine. Alright, so we got reading a config done. Now let's write to it. So I set up another command here. It's behind a permission, which I will show you how to do as soon as I... There we go. I wanted to fix the indentation as soon as I talk about this. So, what in the world happened here? Let me export this real quick and make sure I didn't break something. Okay. Oh, okay. Never mind. Anyway, you want to do this. This case, we're doing a multiple strings in a single command. So it's touch command, which would be the 0 length, and then the next one. And we want this one. So we do this stuff here, string value equals arg0, which is the arguments of the array list that we created, or string array that we made when we'd cast the arguments. So here we do this stuff here, just do it. If you want to look into why it does that or why you need to do it, go ahead, but I'll probably talk about it later. Anyway, here's where we get to writing to a config. What you want to do is name of your config variable, get config, set, that's the path, in this case cmd.enabled, which is this, and then value, which is the second string in your command. And then we want to save it and reload it. Every time you save your config, you want to reload it. You could make it a method if you want, or not a method, a function if you wanted, but it's not necessary because it's 2 lines. And you could even do this if you wanted, have it in 1 line. I like having multiple lines because it looks nicer and it's easier to read. So that's configs. That's basic configs. You can pretty much figure out the rest to do with this, or just from this and that. Now we're going to talk about commands. Permissions. So what you want to do is go into your plugin.yaml file, create a new node called permissions, or a new I don't know, section I guess it's called, and then you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out, and then the name of your permission. In this case I use touch.use. The description should be 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be right at the dot, pretty much. So yeah, you should be able to hit up from the D and it goes right next to the dot. Well, yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 4 or 5 from the thing. Oh wait. Column 13, column 12, what? Oh, 5 and then 9. So this is 4 from there. And then you got your description, colon space, whatever you want. Here it's a string. And then over 1 from description will be your default, whoever the default is that can have it. In this case, op. Op usually is, I usually give op all the commands. Usually what I'll do is, let me just show, yeah, I'll just show you. Here, what you do is you do the name of your, you just do a star, an asterisk, and then you put children, and then it says all this stuff, which would be all of your commands. Admin has access to all of these, which would be spawn, color, nick, class, and whois, which nick, class, whois, spawn, color. Research, no one has yet because I haven't finished. Or, let's do research. True. There we go. So, yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's just, you can children your parent and children your commands pretty much, which is a nice thing to do. It makes things easier on you, because then you don't have to go and be like, okay, this person needs this, and you don't have to have an admin doesn't have to have use command blah 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 blah, and you can just have one single command. In this case, I'm not doing that because I don't care. So this tuts.use is gets applied over here. I commented it out for because I didn't do it right. So here what it does is if you have the use command, then it can go in here and do this stuff. If you have the use command but don't, let me just go ahead and include that in there. So there we go. Now you have to have use and command to get into here. Otherwise you're kind of boned. So let me just explain how it does it. It goes sender, which is the user, this person sending the message, dot has permission. That's a thing already. And then you put the name of your command or your permission in there. If they have it, it's just a normal if statement thing, so go and export this. And then we will do tuts. Here, what we did is we got YAML wrong. Probably, yeah. So what we do is we go into our plugin.yaml, copy paste that, and that works, okay, which means I did something. Oh, you know what? Tuts cmd true. Okay, what? Okay, I must have done something wrong. Can I just have it like this? I should be able to, right? Remember to export the correct file, you dingus. Here we go. Yeah, I got broken. So if you don't export the right file, it's not going to work, obviously. So we can do tuts. I got permission, but that is not enabled. So I have permission from the permission node to use the command, but I don't have. This isn't enabled, so true. And then tuts. There we go. So that's basically reading and writing to a config, and then also using commands and how to make your command, not commands, permission nodes. So you got your config, you got your permission nodes, tuts 1, there we go. And it works perfectly. No errors at all. As long as you don't export the wrong file, then it'll work. So that's all for now. I will provide this file, and then also you will need to put this, the save default config, into your main class file. In this case, mine is tuts. You want to put that anywhere, it doesn't matter. The main or the save default config method can be anywhere as long as it's in here. And then I just put it there because that's where it was. So I will provide both of these in a I don't know, I'll probably just upload it. oops, that and that. Alright, thanks for watching, and next time we will be looking at actually making your plugin do stuff other than just commands. So yeah, look forward to that.